painting a picture for Denise Naslund earlier today, and the treadmill behind me kept turning on and off by itself, and it would say guest on it. And the girl that was painting a picture next to me said, "Isn't the person you're painting that picture in honor of, isn't she deceased?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, maybe this is one way she's letting us know that she's present with us in the room." And I think so. Anyhow, I just felt like the spirit of Denise Naslund was very present with me when I was in jail. And there was one piece of money I saw the entire time I was in jail, and it was a 1974 coin dated to the year she was murdered. And that, combined with other coincidences, which I won't get into, was really, I believe, a coincidence that she had arranged. And the first four letters of the word coincidence are coin. And that's one way God and spirits speak to us, is through coincidence. Well, anyway, somebody did something to tick off the warden, so there was this cell search everywhere, and I knew that they were going to take the penny. But while they were searching the cell, this song came to me. "Don't let 'em take my penny, little Denny. Don't let 'em take my penny away. It dated back to 1974 when you were reborn in heaven. Welcome done, new saint." Anyhow, when I got out, I asked a guy, I was in a treatment center then, and I asked a guy, I said, "When was Richard Nixon impeached?" And he said, 1974. And I walked out and I sang the song, and it ends, "Restore my penny, little Denny, because it's worth a fortune to me. It dated back to 1974, an important time in history." Anyhow, I walk back into the room, and there's this kid named Mohammed, and he's playing with this hockey game he made with pennies. He had a total of 4 pennies that dated before the time where there was the modern pennies with the shield on the back. And I told him the story. I was like, "I've got a story about pennies." And he said, "Oh, I might have a 1974 penny here." And sure enough, out of those 4 pennies, he had a 1974 penny. And it was just really interesting because I had just sang "Restore My Penny" minutes prior to that, and the penny was restored. Well, the other more significant thing about this encounter was it led to a friendship with this Mohammed, and he was a lot more humble and just a nicer person than I am, and nicer and more humble than most Christians are. And so, anyway, that friendship was very important for delivering me from this very intense hatred that I had for Islam. I won't get into why, but I just had more than hostility for Islam. I had hatred for Islam, and I just thought it was one of the most awful things that's ever happened to our earth. And he explained Islam to me in ways that I haven't heard it explained, and he explained his spirituality, and it really healed me of my hatred for Islam. And so, I don't know, but there were those coincidences. There's a lot of other coincidences too. Like, I called my dad when I was in jail, and I said, "Could you look up the last name Naslund and tell me the nationality?" And he said, "It's Swedish. Did you know you have Swedish on your mom's side?" I didn't know that, so that's interesting. Through her, I found out that I have Swedish in me. And not that much, but I also had recently moved to Minnesota, and Minnesota has the highest Scandinavian settlement of Scandinavian population in the United States. And the Swedes were Scandinavian. And that's why the football team here is called the Vikings. So that led to me having my favorite football team, which I didn't. The Vikings were not my favorite football team prior to that. So through her, I have a favorite football team, and just a lot of coincidences. And the first 4 letters of the word coincidence are coin. And it was through that coin and that coincidence and whatever else, that I developed this friendship with Muhammad that took away my hatred for Islam. So through these coincidences, I no longer hate Islam, and I believe Denise Naslund is responsible for that. And I'm really quite a screw up, and I think that's why she was assigned to me to help me become a better person. And slowly but surely that is happening. So have a great day, and may God bless you. Hope you enjoyed the story. Oh yeah, and that treadmill turning on and off, that's interesting. It turned on and off saying guest, and it led to a story about ghosts with the other people present. And the peer specialist, when she heard this story, it brought tears to her eyes, and she told me a story about how she miscarried two twins that she carried in her womb for 9 months, and afterwards she had a vision of the twins floating like a balloon in the air that she said she saw with her eyes, with her optical lens. It wasn't just a mental vision, but she literally saw, like we would see each other. She saw her twins floating in the air. And if it hadn't been for that treadmill turning on and off, I would have never heard that story. So, and had I not been painting the picture for Denise Naslund as well, that the combination of those two things happening at the same time was what led to us having that conversation about ghosts. And I was really appreciated that story. So something's going on here, something paranormal, something supernatural. Anyway, have a great day. God bless you.